think you own us. We are still considered property. Give you an example. I decided to go to an art gallery that specializes in antique objects, and I buy a $50,000 vase. And I decide to have a party, okay? Nice little cocktail party. And all of my invited guests are, just oohing and ahhing over this beautiful piece that I've just spent this money on. And while they're doing that, I go and get a damn bat and then smash this bitch to bits, okay, to smithereens. I destroy it. And of course, everybody's going to respond, in shock and horror and surprise. And I'll be, criticized for my actions. They'll think I've lost my mind, I've gone crazy, I just wasted a bunch of money, and I'm very wasteful, and I'm crazy, whatever. But what they will take home with them that night is, it was mine, I owned it, I can do whatever the hell I want to with it. It's my property. Okay? I can destroy it if I want to. It's mine. Okay? I can do what I want to. Because my ownership of that thing entitles me. There was an ex-slave narrative that I read about a year and a half ago. And I've mentioned before, all of these narratives are available on the internet to read and download for free. These were stories that were collected during the 30s and the 40s by people who had been enslaved. And so by the time they were interviewed, they were probably, relatively old, 70, 80, 90, maybe even older. There was one story from an ex-slave woman. She was about 9 years old, enslaved with her family on a plantation somewhere, I don't remember, but she had an infant sister, and something was wrong with the baby. The baby was sick or something, and she wouldn't stop crying. It was a little girl, she would not stop crying, and mistress would get very angry at her mother, and she would always fuss at her, and yell at her and whatever to shut the baby up. And if I hear that baby again, I'm going to get it. And of course, the mother is terrified, and she's worried because she cannot get the child to stop crying. And so mistress walks up in there, snatches the baby out of her mother's arms, and flings her against the wall, kills that child, walks out, and acts as if nothing ever happened. Now, you have to know what was going through that woman's mind. That nigger baby can be replaced. I own that nigger baby. I can do what I want with that nigger baby. There's nigger babies born on this plantation all the time. Okay? So I didn't do anything that can't be replaced. You see how ownership works? Entitlement. We talk about entitlement, I do, on my speaker a lot with regard to appropriation, cultural theft, and so on and so forth. But no one really talks about the psychology behind possession and ownership as entitlement. So if you feel that you own and possess the black body, more than likely you feel that you own and possess the black spirit. And you feel that you are empowered to take it at will, to crush it at will, to destroy it at will. And not only that, you've got the backing of your community. You've got the backing of the Fraternal Order of Police. You've got the backing of your peers. You've got the backing of politicians. You've got the backing of the motherfucking federal government, as our president showed us last night. Now, we can march, we can protest, we can shout and scream and cry and whine. We can go and have these debates with people. We can town hall it. We can seminar it. We can live stream a Periscope or a Facebook Live and talk about it. Okay, we can NPR it. All right, we can hold unity rallies across the waters. Thank you, London. Thank you, South Africa. Thank you, brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico. Okay, and I think they did something in Australia, if my mind is remembering it. So yeah, we can do all of that. But if we're not going to point out the root of all of this and what allows it to continue, nothing will change. Now, Black Lives Matter has gotten over 100,000 signatures on a petition for whoever, I can't remember, whoever is responsible for listing terrorist organizations. They're moving to put Black Lives Matter on a terrorist list as a terrorist group. Meanwhile, I'm seeing articles about how white racist hate groups are threatening to kill this person, threatening to blow up that structure, threatening to do this and this and that, all which in my mind, and yours too, equate to acts of terrorism. I really don't see how peaceful protest equates to terrorism. Keep doing it here. Keep doing that false narrative shit. Keep doing that fucking mischaracterization. All right? Keep doing that dumb shit. Because for the unenlightened or the unsavvy, the wrong person is going to hear that. And you think shit's bad now? Y'all are stirring the goddamn pot doing that dumb shit. But you can't help yourselves, can you? That's just how you roll. That's how evil, sick, twisted, warped minds roll. Okay? Y'all know how, bullies, they bullies, right? And their whole highlight of a day is to fuck with somebody and bring them pain, bring them grief. And then when a bully gets caught, or if a bully gets pushed back on, all right, with a taste of his own medicine, oh, what happens then? What does a bully traditionally do? Try to gain sympathy. Try to play the victim. And that's exactly what happened with these police. This mother of an officer in Baltimore at that town hall last night. What about my husband's safety? She was telling a story, and I'm waiting to hear about some really horrific thing that happened to her son. I thought her son, was killed or something. All she said was they threw a brick through his windshield and a small piece of glass got in his eye, but it wasn't so bad that he didn't have to, quit working. He didn't have to stop working. He continued to work his shit. Huh? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I forgot. They threw water bottles at him too. Now, oh my gosh, y'all. This is a police officer, a man. He's wearing protective gear in the form of riot gear. If you don't know what that looks like, please Google it. Google police riot gear images and see what that looks like. And you tell me how deadly a motherfucking plastic water bottle is to someone wearing all that shit. Lord, I couldn't believe what I was seeing and hearing at that moment. I'm supposed to feel sorry for your son, someone who signed up for a job that is known to be risky, known to be dangerous. When you become a police officer in this country, you already know the possibility that your life can get snatched from you. You're dealing with danger. That is the nature of your job. What the fuck did he think he was getting into? Saving cats out of goddamn trees? Huh? Helping little old ladies and walkers cross the damn street at the crosswalk? What the fuck? I could not believe this. This man, this police officer, he wasn't drafted to be a police officer in Baltimore. He signed up for this shit in the same city where this, oh my God, y'all, Freddie Gray had his fucking spine snapped. I saw the video. They were dragging his ass to the paddy wagon because he could not walk. They threw him in the back of a paddy wagon without restraints. They're turning fucking corners, rolling over bumps, speeding, stopping fast, and his body is being tossed around with injury. Look, you might not understand this, but when you are in an accident where the possibility of your spine being severed, particularly at the neck, is a possibility, the EMTs, EMS have to be extremely cautious, or they can cause you to be paralyzed from the neck down. Okay? They have to immediately stabilize your neck and your head, because any little sudden movement can fuck you up for life. Freddie Gray was already paralyzed when they drug him and threw him in that paddy wagon without restraints. He's being thrown around the back of that motherfucker, further adding to his injuries. Now, there's a certain level in the spinal column at the brain stem where if it's damaged, you cannot breathe anymore. That's the respiratory center. If that part is damaged, you cannot go on breathing. If you stop breathing, your heart will eventually stop beating because the oxygen that needs to get to that part of the brain that keeps the heart beating will be dead, okay? And then the heart... So these motherfuckers, this bitch, yes, bitch, is going to stand there at that goddamn podium at the microphone and try to gain sympathy from me about her poor police officer's son who is being attacked by some motherfucking water bottles because his colleagues decided to kill a black man and get away with it. And I say that now because we knew it motherfucking then, that they were going to get away with this shit. And I do not give a fuck that some of those fucking cops involved were black cops. Let me tell y'all something about black cops. And yes, I got cops in my motherfucking family too. So don't even step to me with that shit. Back during slavery, the overseer usually held the motherfucking whip. And he was the one that usually flayed open the backs of the black slaves. Well, guess what? On some plantations, on many of them, they would put that whip in the hands of a black slave and give him the authority to flay open the backs of the blacks. And a lot of times, this motherfucker did that shit willingly. Now, a lot of folks did it under duress. It was either you whoop them motherfuckers or we gonna get you. Other motherfucking coon-ass bitches were like, yeah, motherfucker, give me that goddamn whip. And they didn't have a problem abusing their brethren and sistren with that bullwhip. As a matter of fact, it made them feel empowered. And they would abuse the slaves even when they weren't told to. You don't have to be white to be a cracker. All our skinfolk ain't our kinfolk. And just because a police officer is black does not mean he's going to value your life any more than his white colleagues do. Some black motherfuckers will go out of their way to fuck a nigger up because they know they're going to get praises and accolades from their white peers and white superiors. Anybody who lives in a big city with a poor black population knows what the fuck I'm talking about. So I say this from my chest, from my diaphragm. Fuck the motherfucking police.